The ledge is back in session. Is there anybody who wants to comment on either one of the public hearings that we have? We'll have that open mic. And then we have the public to be heard, and I think that come forward. Mr. Connolly, would you come forward and speak a little bit about what's on your mind? The mic is yours.
I'm Alan Connolly. I represent the Arc of Seneca Cayuga, and I want to speak to the 182 North property issue. Just wanted to say that we're supportive of the transfer, subject to Gavris and us working out a long-term lease. We've spoken with the county together, and that we're in agreement with that moving forward. We just want to have time to do the due diligence to do that. We don't expect that to take a very long time at all. We expect to be able to do that by your next meeting time is what we anticipate. And so just want to let you know that and wish Gavris well. We have a long history, both of us together with that particular building, and appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Talking about Gavris Center, I don't know whether somewhere in the meeting it's going to come up, but I'd like to thank Sheriff Gould and all the other volunteers that worked on the playground. And Sheriff, did you want to say a few words about that?
It's all yours. Thank you.
Another great job done by volunteers.
We have 3 other proclamations that will be presented at different times during the month. Hometown Heroes Month in Cayuga County, May of 2018. Miss Jeannie Lampin Baker Day in Cayuga County. Dr. Linda Ann Townsend Day in Cayuga County, May 23rd, 2018.
Can we have a motion for the minutes?
Second.
Mr. Bennett, seconded by Mr. Foley. All those in favor? Any opposed? We have a CC report. We have Mr. DeBell here today to just mention a few things that might be on everybody's mind. I know we just had a commencement. Would you like to come to the podium?
Dr. Durant could not be here today. He is advocating for us in Albany today. He sends his regards. We had a wonderful graduation ceremony on Sunday. 400 plus people walked across the stage, and it's a very, very special event. It's actually what we live for at the college. And just a few quick updates. Enrollment for the current fiscal year, 2018, is slightly ahead of schedule. We have budgeted 2550. We think we're going to land at about 2560. That's very positive. And applications are up for the fall of 2018, so we're very positive about next year. And we're building our budget on flat enrollment, so we're building our budget as 2550, which leads me to the next comment. Our board approved our 2018-19 budget in May, and we will be bringing our 2018-19 budget forth to this body in June. So that is our report. Any questions?
Well, we hope that the good doctor can advocate for us in Albany to get some more cash. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
We have committee reports, individual legislator reports. Okay, no takers. How about our county administrator report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've had an exciting month. A large part of it was preparing and planning for the shared services kickoff, which we had last Friday. We had pretty decent attendance for a Friday afternoon on a beautiful spring day. And we look forward to continuing to work with the mayors and the town supervisors, as well as the highway superintendents and all of the people that the supervisors and mayors invite to work on the panel projects with them. We spent a large portion of the month working on several projects through the Cayuga County Development Corporation, including laying the foundation and working with the Gabber Center and the ARC for the eventual transfer that is the subject of the public hearing today. We worked on capitalizing the CCDC with some new economic development programs, and we've been working with the college, Wells College, to line up and establish a potential financing, bridge financing, to ensure that the water system, which was recently announced by this to be funded by the state, is in place. Hopefully, needs to be in place, and there's financing to do that work. Sometimes the state announces money and makes it available, but it's not always available at the exact time that it's needed. So we're trying to ensure that the resources are in place to make sure that that happens before the HAB season. We also, following the legislature's request, have been working with a number of departments and agencies to begin a master plan for the County House Road campus, beyond just the survey work that needs to be done to complete the transfer with soil and water. There's a number of ongoing initiatives and proposals out there, so really trying to put everything together in a sensible way that we can bring back to present to you, and ensure that the things that we're doing administratively comply with the policy direction that the legislature has laid out. We are nearing and recently completed the first draft of the continuity of operations plan. So we'll be bringing that forward for your review sometime later this summer. And we worked on a number of economic development initiatives, both with CETA and CAPUSA, as well as working with some individual businesses who are planning expansion in the region. And I spent a lot of time working with you, with the legislature, to answer questions about the proposed enterprise lease solution. We continue to have those conversations, and I look forward to answering any other questions that may be left unresolved. And lastly, in the ongoing conversations we've had this month since the presentation of the CGR and the priorities, I'm working with the staff to put together some additional requests with some budget impact statements for you, and I will have that for you at the end of this month in advance of all of your committee hearings next month, so that you'll be able to see on a more global level what we're proposing to move forward with. So it's been a great month. There's been a lot of hard work by the staff, and I really appreciate their support and dedication, and it's a really beautiful event that I'm proud and excited to be part of for the first time here. So thank you.
I see Doug Dellastrio, one of our new employees. Thank you, Doug, and Gary, for having us here at this great venue. Just a minute on the water quality issues. Wells College would like to get out of the water business. Hopefully we can manage water. But there's one thing that I couldn't make it Friday, but I know that New Corps needs a new water system, and I know the city has indicated that they would like to spend $1 million or somewhat more money. But anyways, there's some other lines that are next to wells, and there's some other county water lines that are next to the steel mill, and I want to make sure that we're taking those into consideration with the secondary water for those projects. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Batman.
Thank you for moving forward with kind of a report on the plan for implementation of the new initiatives. I want to reaffirm my interest also, though, in getting a report on where we are in our spending for this year. I think last month we had kind of an initial report, and the communication then is that because of issues associated with the Treasury Department otherwise, it would take a little more time. I kind of thought that'd be this month. It's fine that it's not, but when can we expect that, an update on spending for this year?
That will be part of what I present.
It will. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
We need a motion at this time for appointments and reappointments. Who motioned? Mr. Dennison, seconded by Mr. Pinckney, or Mr. Petrus got the second on that one. Oh, okay, Mr. Paul then. All those in favor of appointments and reappointments? Anybody opposed? Pass. Would somebody like to make a motion that we waive the communications? Mr. Bennett, make that motion. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Dennison. All those in favor? Any opposed? Passed. And just for the audience, the public hearing is still available for any comments. Feel free to jump in. Okay, I'd like to turn it over now to Mr. Bennett in regards to the Ways and Means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have regular monthly resolutions, 1A, 1B. I'd like to offer them up as a bundle.
Second. Motion by Eileen. Okay. Well, we got a pit. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Health and Human Services. Lane, do you have?
Mr. Chairman, Ways and Means has 4 resolutions.
I'm sorry.
They've been through committee, and I'd like to offer them up as a bundle.
All right. Anybody like to make a motion? Charles, would like to make a motion, seconded by Mr. Batman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So passed. Health and Human Services?
Yes,
Elaine David?
Health and Human Services this month had 9 resolutions. They passed through both committees. I'd like to offer up HH1 through HH9 as a bundle, unless anyone wants to break anyone out and discuss individually.
Move it.
Ms. Petrus, seconded by Mr. Pinckney. All those in favor? Any opposed? So be it. Government Operations, Mr. Foley.
Mr. Chairman, Government Operations has 2 resolutions, GO2 and GO3. I will offer them up. GO1 was in regards to the new website, and we will be discussing that further next month. So, motion for GO2 and GO3 at this time.
Am I confused? Are you passing both of them, or are you excluding them?
Yeah, as a bundle. As a bundle,
Right.
GO2 and GO3.
Yeah, right. 2 and 3. And Elaine would like to make the motion, and seconded by Charles. And
Left 2 pages.
Second page there, Keith.
GO3 is requesting additional funding from the state for the Veteran Services Office.
any further discussion on those 3? Are those 2? Mr. Pinckney, did you say? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Public Works? No. Planning? Oh, let's go to planning. All right.
Chairman, planning has 1 resolution, both committees.
Okay, we have a motion and a seconded. All those in favor? Any opposed? So carried. Tucker Whitman will now take over for Public Works.
Public Works has 4 resolutions. PW2 is tabled in committee. I'd like to bundle PW1, 3, 4, and 5, unless anyone would like one singled out.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Is there another one? Mr. Dennison, Judicial and Public Safety?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. JPS has 3 resolutions. They've all gone through committee. Passed, so I'd like to bundle them. Unless somebody wants them separated.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Boy, what a cooperative group this is. Is there anybody who would like to speak on the public hearings? If not, we'll take, we're going to close those two hearings. Going once, going twice, so. Okay. Okay. Ledge 1 is to adopt local law in 2018, a local law amending local law number 1 for the year 2015, a local law amending local law number 1 for the year 2012, local law number 1 for year 2009, amending local law number 5, 2007, amending local law number 3 of 94 to continue the room tax for 3 years. That's a lot of amendments. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Dennison.
I'd like to bring back resolution 15518 about the enterprise car and amend it to be in just the sheriff's cars for now. See if we can get going on this.
I think, let me just speak with legal for a minute. Do we need a second?
Yeah.
Would Mr. Pinkman like to second that motion? Second that motion.
Mr. Chair?
Would we have a legal?
I don't know if we have to first move it back on to for consideration and then have a separate motion to amend.
All right, I'd like to bring it back make a motion to bring the original resolution back from being tabled.
That's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Second. Just another legal opinion. Do we need a 2/3 vote to bring a tabled motion back?
No.
Simple majority? Okay. Does everybody want to bring it back so we can have a discussion on it?
Let's vote.
Call a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So, Mr. Vitale opposes. Okay, it's on the floor to discuss. Mr. Dennison, you want to carry it forward? Mr. Benton?
Before we make the amendment, I will make the amendment, and then that way I won't have to ask for a friendly amendment. I propose, as Mr. Dennison said, that we amend the resolution to include at this point only leased vehicles for the highway patrol, and that we also, however, move forward with the purchase of vehicles for the Department of Social Services and the Health Department, since those need to move forward now. So I offer that as an amendment.
I would just like to add to Mr. Batman's comment. The other vehicles that were spoken by Mr. Batman are included in the budget. Plus, we get a reimbursement if we own them versus leasing them.
We get a reimbursement whether it's the same rate of reimbursement, whether we purchase them or we lease them.
Can I have a second on that motion? Who would like to second it? Ms. Petras? Okay. All right, so the motion on the floor right now is to we're gonna lease the patrol cars for the sheriff's department, the road patrol. Is that correct? And we're gonna purchase the social services vehicles. That is the motion on the floor. And health. Is everybody okay with that? Mr. Bennett?
Should those be two separate resolutions, purchasing vehicles for the department that we're amending one?
Good point. Good point. All right, let's separate those. The lease, we're going to make a motion for the lease, which is for the road patrol, and that's Charles.
Wait a minute, we gotta do something with the motion that's on the floor first.
Wait, hold on.
Legal is saying you need to either vote on the amendment or withdraw the amendment and clarify it.
It's not clear to me why the two aspects of it needs to be changed. It's an amendment to a resolution. Do they need to be separated?
I suppose they could go through together.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
We could pass them together if you'd like.
Well, I don't see any reason not to. I don't think that unless there's opposition to doing them. I don't care one way or the other.
Mr. Vitale would like to say something?
I don't care, it's just that some people may vote no for putting them, combining them, whereas they would vote yes for one and no for the other, but
Fine.
I think we have a resolution on the floor, I think we should move forward to see what it does.
So just for clarification, Justin, would you restate what's on the floor?
I believe what's on the floor is an amendment to proceed with the enterprise lease for the sheriff's vehicles and to move forward with the purchases, the budgeted purchases that were previously tabled for the Health and Social Services Department.
Is that clear to everyone now? Mr. Foley?
Yeah, I would prefer that they were separated, just as a matter of point of interest. I mean, technically they're doing two separate things. One is purchasing vehicles for a department, one is leasing vehicles for a separate department. I think that I could see the reasoning why they could be combined into the same amendment, but my understanding right now is we have only one amendment on the floor, which is Legislator Dennison's to go with the Sheriff's Department lease. And then he would have to take, that's only one amendment that we have. We would need another amendment.
I know this may be a little cumbersome. I think procedurally we have Mr. Batman's motion for the amended resolution for the leasing of the sheriff's vehicles and the purchase of the health and social service vehicles. I believe that needs to be voted on at this time, and if it is successful, it'll go forward. If it's not, there could be two separate motions brought.
This is just for, to amend it, not whether we're passing.
If we're going to vote on the amendment, can I have a vote? Mr. Dennison would like to say something else?
Can't somebody amend the amendment then, and make it what he wants?
Who's the parliamentarian? Oh, it's me. Oh, thanks. All right, let's call the vote just to see what we got. We're voting on the amendment. Roll call vote. Go ahead, Sheila.
Thanks. Okay, Tucker Whitman,
Yes.
Andy Dennison,
Yes.
Ben Vitale, Chris Petras,
Yes.
Paul Pinckney,
Yes.
Aileen McNabb Coleman, Keith Batman,
Yes.
Joseph DeForest,
Yes.
Charlie Ripley,
Yes.
Joseph Bennett,
No.
Elaine Daly, Timothy Lattimore,
Yes.
Michael Didio is excused, Ryan Foley,
Yes.
oh, sorry, Patrick Mahoney is excused. Passed.
All right, we're going to vote on the adjusted, revised amendment. Do we have a motion?
Move it.
Mr. Dennison moves it. Do we have a second? Mr. Pinckney seconds. Let's have another roll call vote. Okay. Sheila?
Okay. Tucker Whitman,
Yes.
Andy Dennison,
Yes.
Ben Vitale, Chris Petras,
Yes.
Paul Pinckney,
Yes.
Aileen McNabb Coleman, Keith Batman,
Yes.
Joe DeForest,
Yes.
Charlie Ripley,
Yes.
Joseph Bennett,
No.
Elaine Daly, Timothy Lattimore,
Yes.
Michael Didio is excused, Ryan Foley,
Yes.
Patrick Mahoney is excused. That passed.
Passed. So Sheriff, you can now get your cars.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Early Christmas. Yes, Mr. Dennison.
I'd also like for Justin to look into, for maybe next month, GPS on vehicles, and give us an update.
Sure, we'd be happy to. We've started looking at that already. So.
Except for sheriff's vehicles, obviously.
Yeah, we don't want trackers on the sheriff's units. We need a motion to adjourn. So moved by Mr. Badman, seconded by everybody. Okay. Thank you, Charles. Thank you very much for today's presentation. Thank you, ladies. Did a nice job setting up. You know, it's a lot of work.